is always possibility of spy or spyware on your computer when you're not using the cameras. So I use that and I stick that on my camera. So as we have the folks coming in on board, I just want to say welcome, and I guess all of you that are here have some kind of interest in cryptocurrencies. Some of you have been involved in cryptocurrency scams and schemes and all sorts of join this and join that. And my wife and I, for the last 6 years, have been inundated with stuff like this, people wanting us to get involved in stuff. And even we have lost money in the beginning 2 years that we got involved in this. So cryptocurrency leaves a big wide open door to schemers and scammers in the market. And it's time that we start taking control of our own funds. And this is what we teach. So we started our business 6 years ago, March, it will be 6 years, with the intention of educating people to find a way that they can take control of their funds. And I'm going to tell you that both my wife and I are not cryptocurrency, we're not financial advisors, we're just educators. We're here to give you the information, and we are here to teach people that are willing, or some of you probably have gotten started with some form of trading or other already, and maybe have made some mistakes or too scared to get into it. And the reason why most people that get involved in cryptocurrency lose money is because they have no or little education. So the lesser education you have, the more possibilities of losing. So I'm going to go through a few slides. I'm going to give you folks a little bit of basic education tonight. I'm going to give you an introduction to what we do and how we can help you. Because at the end of the day, people that make money in the world today are the people that help others solve problems. The biggest problem solvers in the world today are the ones that make the most money, and they get paid for it. So just a little bit of background from myself. I did complete my school education. I've got no formal degrees. I've got no massive education behind my name. I was a full-time pastor for 7 years, and basically still am an ordained minister. And sometimes some of this comes out in my training that I would probably sound like I'm preaching to you, but because trading is a serious business, we want to keep it as serious and as light-hearted as possible. So my wife Nelda and I, we started 6 years ago with training people how the markets work, and it's a very, very difficult game. And if I had not known about cryptocurrencies or about Robert Kiyosaki and Rich Dad Poor Dad and The Richest Man in Babylon, Greatest Salesman in the World, books like that, I wouldn't have been able to understand the game that I am in still today. So all of us have this desire to make money, but very few of us want to go through the steps and the stages of understanding the power of money that it can have over you. If it has power over you, then you don't have power over it. And we can change that. We can have more power over money if we allow money to be our friend and work for us, then it has power over us. So we want to tell you something right up front, is that anybody that teaches or talks to you about trading or markets, if they don't tell you that they've lost money and they haven't told you that they haven't lost a lot of money, then you don't want to listen to them, because then they're only showing you the shiny side of that. And in the world today, everybody that's education, if they haven't learned the hard way, they are not educators. I simply believe that a lot of hype is made by telling people how much money they made and they're making, but they're not telling you how much they are losing or have lost already. So there are good and bad times in this world of trading. So whenever we talk about having lost money, it's you either have misplaced it, you've dropped your wallet somewhere, or you've given your money to someone else. And any time you've given your money to someone else, they've probably at some point of time disappointed you and not given the money back, and you've got angry and you've got over it. And then you found someone else to give your money to, and they've lost it. It's time to change that. It's time for you to control your own money. So this is my wife Nelda in the picture, the top right of your screen. And we arrived in Cape Town 2 years ago after being in Gauteng for all our lives, and we started training the people in Cape Town how to trade. And our first session, we had 37 people in, and it was just it was just amazing how much interest that there was at that time in trading. But things change. Not everybody that learns to trade becomes successful. Not everybody who learns to trade can say, I'm a winner. They don't. It's like a gym. If you ask how many people belong to a gym, I can tell you that there's 10 times more people that belong to the gym that actually pitch up at the gym. You know that. So just like trading, just like any other occupation or anything that's important in life to people, it's something that you've got to make time for. For some people, it comes naturally. They love to sit in front of the screen. We don't actually want people just to sit in front of the screen all the time. We're going to teach you how to spend time in front of the screen and spend time with other important things, because life isn't just about making money. So I believe that everybody is a natural born trader. In some or other way, you think that, well, I'm not a trader, but you are. You're always trading your time for money. You're trading your services for goods or for cash, whether you're doing it secretly or openly. Some deals you win, some deals you lose. And as long as you're making 65% or more, you are a trader. All of us have traded since soon after we were born. I remember at school, I used to go with a small bag of marbles to school, and I used to go and put up these little castles, and the guys used to try and hit it from a distance, and I walked back home with a big bag of marbles. So you lost some to gain a lot. So that's the part of education that we teach our people, is that we all need to lose a little bit in life so that we can gain a lot. And losing sometimes is part of our education. But we want to try and take that high loss thinking and the high losses out of your trading. So there's two streets that you could be in, and we'll actually separate them into the 4 categories of Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrant, because all of us are in one of those four categories at this point. But there's one that says, I'm a long-term person. I want to be in this long-term. I don't want to learn to trade. Trading doesn't excite me. And the other person says, I want to trade. I've always been fascinated with the markets, or I've traded, but I'm just not making it. I'm not making things work for me. I'm not working things out. It's confuggling my mind. And this happens to everybody. Anybody that jumps into the deep end, into the markets, normally doesn't know what they're doing. And often, even if you've had the training, you don't have the experience. So there's a whole lot of things that I'm going to speak to you in the next 20, 30, 25 minutes that we have. And just give you some education. Even if you don't sign up for our program, we're starting on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday with our traders program. It's three evenings. If you can't attend in the evening, we do the replay in the morning, so it's not like you're going to miss out on anything. So even if you miss out, you're not participating in our program, by the end of the session, you would actually see the markets in the world in a different light, hopefully. And if you don't, then you're not in front of the screen, you're not listening. And the information I'm going to give you, some of it I'm going to go through quickly. So if you want to take notes, please take notes. So street 2 is I'm scared, but I'm excited and I'm an inquisitive. So some of you might have asked, well, how does a pastor become a trader or a learner trader? I had a guy phone me the other day. He says, well, you know what? I'm a pastor and I need to learn to earn extra income, because a pastor hasn't been, earning much money in the last year. Anybody that knows that a pastor of a dominee or whoever, your support is on faith at the moment, and how do you earn income? But this has become my main source of income, is to be a trader and to trade. And I love to teach people to trade. My wife has become a teacher recently. She's actually got all these CETA qualifications. So she will be starting you guys off on Monday and Tuesday with all the basics. So Street 1 is a 3-hour course. That's for those who say, I'm not interested in learning to trade. I'm just interested in cryptocurrency and Bitcoin and Ethereum and Ripple as a whole. I want to know as a buyer, when must I hold it and when must I sell it? So this is what will be included in this package. We will help you open the right accounts, the local South African accounts to buy cryptocurrencies. It will be local exchanges who've been around for years. We know the people. We have got we have them on WhatsApp groups. If we have any issues with them, we sort it out within an hour. Well, if it's 12 o'clock at night, I don't think that's going to happen. So during daytime and reasonable hours. So we will help you get all the Google authenticators on your phone. Google Authenticator is what everyone's going to use in the future to prevent hacking and to prevent any kind of account. Even if you got just a normal Gmail account, you should have a Google Authenticator on that account already. If you don't, please add it or find out how to add it to your account so that nobody can just jump in and start checking your emails or start signing up with your email account. So again, with Street 1, we'll show you how to buy and to sell the cryptocurrency so that you can know, all right, this is where I buy it, this is where I should buy it, this is the wrong time of the year to buy something, or this is the right time of the year. So you will get added onto a 12-month WhatsApp group, which could be like an investors group. And that group will tell you, hey guys, the markets are about to tumble. Let's get out. Let's make, if the markets fall, you sell it back to rands. When the market's at the bottom, you buy back again and you make money going up again. So we have that kind of investor strategy for what we call the Street 1. So you will get added to a crypto holders group for 1 year. We will then follow up after you've opened your accounts and funded your account. So we're not going to do this for you. We're going to go step by step, and you're going to do it on your own computer. We always know that people have trust issues, especially you guys that have been joining all sorts of Ponzi schemes lately. You don't trust anybody. You don't trust anybody. So we will show you in the course how to do this, and then we will go step by step through how to do this, and you will then add your authentication so that you and your partner or you and some loved ones have access to your account. You must remember that even though the laws of the country still have not proclaimed that cryptocurrency is money, it will still be money when you bring it back into your account. So it still has a value in the real world. So just don't forget that. The reason why I'm saying that is people pass away with large amounts of crypto, and their family has no access to that crypto. And their family could actually start breathing again for a while if they knew that the family member had that. So don't keep this as a secret, and then somebody else loses because you've passed on. And I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm not going to say that's going to happen soon, but everybody's got to pass on sometime. So we would like to give you that as a package, and that package would be 1997. So that is for those who are not interested in trading, they don't want to learn all this funny stuff. They just want to say, I know that cryptocurrency has a future. When we started 6 years ago, I bought Bitcoin at 4,000 Rand a Bitcoin. And I thought, wow, that's ridiculously high. That's a lot of money for something you can't touch or see. And at the moment, we're sitting at 760, 780,000 Rand a Bitcoin. So that doesn't mean you have to buy a whole Bitcoin. You can buy 1,000 Rand or 500 Rands worth of Bitcoin. You don't have to buy the full Bitcoin. And that 500 Rand could be worth a few thousand in a few years' time. So we have seen that kind of growth. I mean, if you take 780,000 divided by 4,000, I would like to see if you got, who is the first one that can come up in the chat box with the answer of how many times that has grown. All right, so we got actually, now we're in street two. Street two is I want to learn to trade. And there's 4 kinds of traders, 4 kinds of strategies. The one that's got the ADHD, the person that says, I don't have time to sit in front of the screen, tell me what I must buy, and buy it, and then 2-3% later, half an hour passes, they've made their 3%, and they walk away and they go do something else. We have scalpers, they don't even spend more than half an hour to an hour in front of the screen a day. And sometimes they don't even spend time in front of the screen, but when they get in, they want to make money and they want to get out. These are the guys that have the safest trading strategy because they don't go to bed on any open orders. Then you got the day traders, and everybody thinks that if you start to trade, you must go sit in front of the screen and stare at the screen all day and try and figure out what's the market's doing. No ways. Day traders are people that spend anything from 2 to 10 hours a day in front of the screen. I know some of the guys are spending 12 to 16 hours a day in front of the screen. They don't sleep. That's like total craziness. And then, of course, we take the more longer term. We call the swing traders and the position trader. That's more or less what we call street one. I've got 5,000 Rand. I've got 500,000 Rand. I don't know where to start. Help me, give me advice. And I want to know, when must I sell this and when can I buy it back? Because the market has its cycles. So nothing just goes up all the time. Nothing, if you ever heard anybody or any institution that gives you a daily or a monthly return, you know that's a Ponzi scheme. Yeah, it's a Ponzi scheme because no market works that you only get returns all the time. There are down times, there are down days, there are down months in the market, and we're going to see some coming soon. So I like to use Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrant. The employee, the person that has a job, is the person that has half an hour in the morning and half an hour or 20 minutes at night, and they just want to catch a quick trade. We call them the employee, the scalp trader. Then the self-employed one is obviously the guy that sits all day. His livelihood depends on the sitting in front of the screen. The third person is obviously the business owner. They're the swing trader. They've got other things to do. They've got other business to do. Then the investor is the person that says, tell me where to buy, tell me when to sell. And those are the people we would give them maybe 2 or 3 hints a month on what are good markets to get into or what is good to get out of. So that was Robert Kiyosaki's thinking about the 4 different categories. To get somebody from employee to an investor is almost impossible. And I'm going to tell you why. I've got guys that are working a job, but he's got R1,000,000. And he says, I'm an investor because I've got R1,000,000. He doesn't know. He's not an investor because he's still thinking of earning a salary on his money. So I consider him only as an employee or a self-employed person, because even if you've got a lot of money, you still want that money to work for you. And have you got the patience for it to go over 3 to 6 months? So your market cycles go 3 months, 3 months, 3 months. And I'm going to just touch on that just now so that you guys can understand that we are in for some market booms, some market crashes, and some market bull runs. But both are inevitable. And it's going to happen 3 times this year. So you guys got to get ready for this. So you decide which one of the categories you want to be in. Whenever I was at some forex training courses, and they never told me that there's different categories of traders in different times. You, according to the time you've got available, you will have a strategy, and you will use that strategy according to the time you've got available. And it will be then your strategy, and you'll work according to your strategy, not someone else's. So you can be in more than one category. You can have more than one strategy. Maybe one day you have the whole day and you said, today looks like a busy day in the market and I want to make money today. Then you can change your strategy. So some of your coins you're holding long term, some of you just want to make money today and make it 5 or 10 or 20%. And some of our markets go like 50, 100, 150% in 24 hours. It's crazy. And if you haven't seen it, you probably won't believe it, but we can show you that on the markets. So the other thing is it short term or long term that you want to be in the market? Do you need a salary for this, or do you want to just have a long term strategy? So I'm just going to show you quickly one of the graphs that I got up, the Dow Jones, which is on its way to a very, very high peak at the moment. I think that we're going to have 2 crashes this year on the Dow Jones. We saw the crash in March last year. We will see a similar crash happening. The market is actually going ballistically high at the moment. And it's almost like everyone's just buying. But there's a point when people, traders and normal thinking people say, isn't this a bit too high? And then they sell. And when they sell, there's a panic in the market and then the prices drop. So what are we going to teach you in the course? So I'm just going to do a little quick overview. We're obviously going to go into much more detail. And during the course, you'll be able to ask questions in the chat box and discuss anything. Say, slow down, this I don't understand, and we can go into more detail. So this is a basic chart graph. And this is a 1-day graph on the Bitcoin price, the US dollar Bitcoin price. And each one of these little stripes on the screen are what we call candlesticks, and they represent markets going up versus markets going down. And you can obviously see the price is $51,900, and this price is probably going to hit 55, 60, 64,000, maybe even 69,000 before the next week or two is over. So that's like, wow, is that possible? Well, we thought it wasn't possible when we hit $25,000, $30,000, and we are almost double that right now. So yes, it's going to go ballistically parabolic. Now, this is what we call a 1-day graph. In other words, each one of these little stripes are 1-day candlesticks representing 1 day in time. What a lot of traders or beginner traders miss is they don't look at different time frames. So this is a 1-day graph, and this is a 5-minute graph. So the difference is that each one of these little lines represent 5 minutes in time. So I can't see what's going to happen next, because that little last stripe there is a 1 day, and all of these stripes back 24 hours, that represents a whole day. So depending on which strategy you use, you're going to use a different time frame graph. And that's going to make life a lot more simple for you, because you're going to focus on the time frame according to your strategy. We will teach you about one of the most important tools on any graph. And this is, I'm not sure about stock market brokers and traders and forex traders, but I watch the Dow Jones, I watch the DAX, the German DAX, and the S&P, and it works very well for all of them. So this is basically a nice little road or street that's showing you where the price is moving up. And when you see the price is moving out of the street on the dirt, then obviously it has to come back onto either the middle of the road or to the other side of the road. So that is when the markets go bull. So there's a word bull and bear, or bullish or bearish. So you'll hear people saying the Bitcoin price is bullish. It's because the price is pushing up, pushing up, pushing up. So this is one of our best tools that we use to determine where the market is going to go next. And then also on a different time frame, it will show different width. So when we're driving in South Africa, we drive on the left-hand side of the road, and driving on the left-hand side of the road simply means we stay on that side of the road because that's safety. But when we're going onto the right-hand side of the road, we are in trouble. We're going to lose money. We're going to lose our vehicle if we don't watch out. So we need to get out of the markets. One of the things that I know, I don't ever want to compare myself with other traders or teacher traders, but most of them never teach or even talk about this or even realize that this is possible, that markets go according to seasons. And the 4 seasons of the year, or the turn of the seasons, are either highs or lows in the market. And this is what we saw very nicely on last year's market, that we had a huge crash on the equinox. And there's reasons why the equinoxes and the solstices have huge effects on it. And besides that, the moon phases, and your new moon and your full moon, your markets are buzzing. And your first and last quarters, they're downish. And they're not all of them, but generally speaking, that the markets are down during certain times. We'll teach you how to draw support lines. So if I see there's a support line, the price is going away from our support line, I need to think, well, is it going to come down to that support line because it's going further and further away from this line? We'll show you how to draw resistance lines to show you, well, you know what, maybe it's hit a high, the way where it's going now, if it breaks through that, where it sees breaking resistance, then it's going to go parabolic. So traders have choices to make where the price hits the different lines. Of course, one of the things that we like to do is we study what all the Chinese and the guys are all over the world, because the Chinese have a huge influence in the markets, and of course they have certain topical days. They call this certain subject day. So today is the 18th danger day. So if you didn't have some conflict today, well, wonderful. If you didn't have some conflict yesterday, wonderful. But we know that days like this, the markets are awkward and they tumble, and then possibly tomorrow the markets are going to turn up again. So we can see by the way the markets move, and all of this is just based on moon phases. These calendars were drawn up 2,300 years ago, and they're still using it today. And they assist us traders just to be aware of possibilities. And all of these days, all of these times, we're actually warned to get out the market in time. So there are some days that you're not going to make money. There might be one possibility or two possibilities to make money, but some days you just need to take it easy. That's simply, we're not just teaching you to trade, we're teaching you a lifestyle. And the lifestyle will help every aspect of your life. So there's me preaching away to you, but that's just normally how it is. I've had to tell some of my traders, you go to the beach today, you're over trading, and I want to see you with your WhatsApp call. I want to see your feet in the water because you're spending too much time in front of the screen. And then the guy afterwards, he thanks me, he says, oh, I needed to take a break. So we don't want you to be an unbalanced individual. We want you to be, kind of balanced. So this is the South African price on Bitcoin just an hour ago. It's hectically high, but I mean, you don't need to buy one Bitcoin. You can, and in a few years' time, no one will be able to buy a Bitcoin, virtually no one. So we will teach you. Our idea, our concept is to teach you to increase your Bitcoin so that you eventually have 1 or 2 or 3 Bitcoins. And I'm so overwhelmed because some of the traders are on the call right now, and some of them, one person said, I've tripled my portfolio in the last 3 months. Other one said, I doubled my portfolio in the last 2 weeks. So that is where my results come from. If I'm a good teacher and I can help you make those kind of returns because you committed and devoted to something, you can do it. One of the programs I'm working with at the moment is to help my traders earn 2% per day or 2% per trade. So even if you can't trade today and you wait tomorrow, make 2% and get out. And everybody, if you work out 2% per trade and you take it over the next 6 months, it looks pretty good on your portfolio. So we teach people not to be greedy. Sometimes the markets are going better, sometimes they're going worse. So you can choose with expensive and slow coins like Bitcoin to trade, because Bitcoin, even though it's been going crazy, according to the news and media, it's actually been going very slow. There's a lot better, faster coins to trade. So you can go expensive, slow, or cheap and fast. So Dogecoin, it's 79 South African cents for a cryptocurrency. And you can see just a few days ago, week 12 days ago, it went to 1 Rand 80, all the way from 20 cents. So you can work out that kind of profit from the 28th of December, 28th of January until 1 Rand 80. And people aren't even knowing about it. It's not even yet. Elon Musk spoke about Dogecoin a few days ago, and that was what made this go ballistic. All of these coins have their seasons and their times. So we know that there's certain times we want to get out the market, there's certain coins, and others times we want to get back in. So information is knowledge. And the application of knowledge is where you can get power from. So if you just listen to information, it means nothing to you until you apply it. And a lot of people have fear of the unknown. So if I can tell you that in the next 2 weeks, the markets might tumble and you might have to consider getting out the market. What I mean, pulling all your money out the markets? No, it's basically getting your money back into rands or US dollars, depends on what you're trading, and then waiting for the dip in mid-March, towards the end of March, you buy back again and you make more money going up again. So we do not trade derivatives. We don't trade IQ options, all of this stuff that means leverage trading. We don't do that. We just do plain spot market trading. So if you bought something for 1 Rand and the price falls to 80 cents, then your value of your coin is 80 cents. If it goes to 1 Rand 20, then your value is 1 Rand 20. So we don't do leverage. It's too high risk. Most people don't know what they're doing, and you get greedy. So we don't do that. So we all have our definitions of good and bad, but of course, good and bad is relative to those with information and those without information. So if bad times, security companies, make a killing, it's good for them. Warren Buffett makes money when the markets drop. In fact, he made and lost money in March last year because he invested in airlines and then he invested in DHL. Now, the postal business, I'm not talking about South African Post Office, courier business has thrived with the world in lockdown. But airlines have closed down because of lockdown. So to one, it's good, to another, it's bad. And you can have a choice where you can shift your money depending on what the world needs in a different time. So the saying is, when there's blood on the streets, it's time to buy. In other words, when everyone's selling, we're waiting for the bottom of this drop, and we buy at the bottom. When the price is right at the top, everyone's celebrating. We saw this in 2017. Some of you bought Bitcoin in end of 2017. We were telling our traders to sell. Christmas time. Yay, Christmas time. We bought some Bitcoin. After Christmas, everything's prices go down. The stuff that the shops couldn't sell, they mark it down, mark it down. You don't buy Christmas time, you buy in November or you buy in January. Then you get the better prices, the better bargains. So when everybody's celebrating, it's time to sell. So we have put a package together. In the past, we gave people a level 1 course, and the level 1 course we've been doing for the last 6 years, and we've tweaked it as we've gone according to our traders' needs. And the value is 2499, and we've got a level 2 course. And what we're going to do is we've actually just combined all of this in one package for you guys. We've realized that if we don't give you this package, then we are not completing our task. Level 1 and 2, and then the Tradeathlon is a live event where you sit and trade together with me, and we can Q&A as we're going. We choose good trades. You can either sit and watch, or you can actually go into the trades with me, and we trade those trades. And then I give you a signals, put you on a signals group for 1 month. In other words, you get daily signals which tell you, guys, this is a good one to buy. This is one to look out for the next 24 hours. This is the next one for 2 weeks. There's news coming through on this coin. Let's buy it and let's sell it at 10% or 15% higher. The total value that we've put together is 9497, but we've condensed this price into one price at 3997 or $272. And there we're going to spend Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday night. There's quite a few, I think it's 6 to 10, so it's 12 hours every evening, or you can go and listen to the pre-recorded message or the recorded presentation the next morning if you're not a night person and you have time in the daytime, so Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And for those of you who are bringing in groups of people, we've already given you guys discount codes and stuff, so you will then still get discount on this if you're bringing in groups of people. So there is the times, 22nd to the 24th of February, and we will then go through all of that. Let me just go through this again. It will include level 1 and 2 for those 3 nights. Then we do a Tradeathlon, which will probably be 3 or 4 days and nights where we will be trading 2 hours, up to 4 hours a day together. And that will be included in the package. And then, of course, you will, once you've completed that, you will then get added onto a group for the next 30 days to know what to buy and to sell. So I think we've pretty much covered all the information that we've wanted to discuss. I think if there's any questions you guys want to ask, anything you don't understand, I want you to get through this quickly as possible. I know people have got things to do, and people get bored. They don't concentrate for a long time. But I'm sure that for those people that we've had so many queries the last few weeks, and people just don't want to miss out on the opportunity of wanting to know how to trade. Or street one is tell me what I must buy, and tell me is this a good thing to buy. And I just want to put this back up on the screen again, and then just share the screen so that you guys can see. All All right, so there's no such thing as get rich quick scheme. But I want to tell you now that traders are the people in the world that are making the most money. And I'm going to tell you why. You can tell me real estate, and I say, fantastic. How many people have the credit worthiness and the funds and the time to actually get into real estate? How much real estate can you buy in a short period of time? You need banks, you need attorneys, you need all these fees, you've got people that you've got to deal with. As a trader, you don't need to ever speak to a single person in your life. You're putting money in the market, you're putting it in a totally automated system. You tell it, you'd say, I want to buy this, and you place your sell order or your buy order, and we don't buy and buy at the price that you see. We teach you to buy lower too, because the price doesn't always just go up, it also goes down. We teach you how to make money in two directions. So people think, how's that possible? Yes, when you're running a wholesale business, we're going to teach you how to wholesale, how to look at life a lot differently for opportunities, because some people, I want 5%, I want 10, I want 50% profit, but they miss out 2%, 2% that they could be making all day. So that is just an overview for you folks. If whoever invited you to the call, you can either contact them or my wife, Nelda. Everybody, most people know she will be doing the introduction to all of this training. She's a fantastic teacher, and I think she's also on the call now. Fantastic, yes. So any questions from you folks? Anything you want to say? I see some of the guys like MJ on the call. He's a brand new, I think he's like 19 or 20 years old, and he's just enjoying himself. And I'm thinking, how many youngsters coming out of school, what is your chances when all you need is a computer that is an i5 or an i7, a desktop or a laptop, and a good internet connection? That's what you need. Any youngster doesn't need to run around all over the world and look for business. You can start making your money straight with. I sat in a coffee shop today trading. You can sit wherever you want. You can sit any time of the day, any time of the night. As long as you make sure whatever your strategy is, if you want to make money every day, you get out of your trades every day and you go to bed peacefully. If you're going in long term, you might have a different strategy. All right, so I don't see any other questions. Thanks, MJ, for telling us 195 times. From 6 years ago, Bitcoin has increased its value 195 times. So for 1,000 Rand, your 1,000 Rands of Bitcoin left there would have been 195,000 Rand. In other words, if you had 5,000 Rands of Bitcoin 6 years ago, you would have been a millionaire now. So this is not where it's going to stop. And guys, there are going to be down times. There's going to be up times. The markets are going to drop again soon and later this year. But this is a massive year. This markets have their cycle. So Bitcoin is a 4-year cycle. And that cycle is you can't believe how it's rolling in place according to the 2017 pattern. So you guys have an awesome evening. Thanks for sitting in, and we'll chat to you guys soon.